let's talk 5 ways to use your successful middle school assessment results. AMLE's Successful Middle School Assessment is a research evidence tool that assesses your practices against middle grade's best practices as established through research. We assess the implementation of 18 characteristics of successful middle schools across 3 areas: culture and community, curriculum, instruction and assessment, and leadership and organization. So 5 ways to utilize your results starts with the fact that the Successful Middle School Assessment amplifies the voice of your staff, your students, and your families. So you can make decisions for school improvement planning out of the voice of the people most impacted and involved with that work. Second, the Successful Middle School Assessment can help you ensure that you are making decisions about things that really need that change and that attention. There are times we work really hard at appendectomies in the world of education, and we do all the professional development and the reading, we learn the acronyms, we do the paperwork, and we become world-class experts at appendectomies. But what our school really needed was a knee replacement. So the assessment results can help you define the areas of your school experience that need your attention and help ensure that you are targeting attention then to the things that your staff, students, and families really need. Third, the Successful Middle School Assessment can help you prioritize school improvement initiatives. Look, there is so much involved in the world of doing school well that it can be tempting to chase after all the things. But if we chase after all the things, we're going to be faced with initiative fatigue, the inability to sustain those efforts, and the fact that we simply can't do all things with excellence all the time. We have to start somewhere. So your assessment results will include recommendations on anything found in your assessment to need your attention, to warrant school improvement. And you and your leadership team work together then to determine which priorities best fit your vision and mission, where you're already heading as a district and a school, and align to the perspectives of your students, staff, and families so that you can prioritize the things that are going to have the most tangible and most needed impact on those populations right away. Other things may be slated out then for like a 1 to 3 year or even 5-year implementation plan. In those results then, what you may notice is that there are some surprises. There may be things that you knew were coming and you see them in your recommendations and you're like, oh yeah, we fully expected that. There may be other things that you didn't know may need your attention. That's one of the benefits, again, of soliciting the input of those stakeholders through a very thorough survey process like we do. With those surprises, you may realize there are some things that weren't on your radar that need to be. So a benefit of the assessment results is that you may find some things that need your attention that you had no idea. It's like going to the doctor for blood work and finding out that your insulin levels are off and you had no idea. Then you can make the needed dietary and lifestyle changes to address that. The same is true with school improvement assessment results like ours. There may be other surprises, things that come up in your results that you weren't anticipating that you and your leadership team decide are less relevant for right now and may get put on that 1 to 3 year to 5 year timeline. So then how do you determine what is most beneficial to take on right now and how do you actually bring that to fruition? I'm so glad you asked. So my 5th way to use your successful middle school assessment results is to hold focus groups. We so often solicit the input of staff, of students, and families, and we don't always then tell those stakeholder groups what we're doing with the information we collect from them. When we survey parents, it is hard to get a true cross-sample of our parents to actually participate in and complete a survey. So we may have the voice of a portion of our parent population, but not all of them. When we survey students, we get data points on their experience. Adults can change student culture very slowly. Students can change student culture much more quickly. So out of those assessment results, maybe not share the entire report with them, but after you and your team have prioritized some points of focus, engage focus groups of students and families, staff if you don't have leadership structures already existing that allow you to do so. Meet with them about those priorities and the data points you considered to establish those priorities, and hear more about their story, their vision for what it would look like to improve those things, and engage them in the action then of making it happen. If we empower students to be agents of change in their own school, we will see school cultural change much faster and more sustainable because it is student-driven, student-centered, amplifying the voice of those students all along the way. That's just 5 ways to use your successful middle school assessment results this school year. If you'd like to hear more, please get in touch. I'd love to work with you.